You know what time it is. It's 9 p.m. on a Friday night. Time to put the kids to bed and come on in to the delinquent show of Lake Effect Lounge.
Could you be little more serious in your tone?
I could. I was trying to do my Barry White voice. It didn't work out so well, did it?
It actually sounds pretty good. It's getting better, I think. I think you need to keep
Boom.
going.
Boom.
And the Cavs drain another 3.
Tell me it was Keon Ellis.
I'm just
You
randomly.
son of a. I got bets going on tonight with the
I
Cavs.
cannot.
So.
Listen, I have learned this. What me and Sloshed were doing a mock draft show with.
It was Keon.
We were doing a mock draft show, and I tried to watch the Cavs in the background, and I think Matt will tell you I was just all over the place. I couldn't pay attention.
So I got a 3-leg parlay going. Little $5 holla. It's
please tell me you took Evan Mobley for the points.
Oh, hold on. You'll love this. So I took Keon Ellis over 7.5 points. I took Evan Mobley points, rebounds, and assists 25 plus. And James Harden points, rebounds, and assists at 29.5 plus. So at 30. James Harden's at 26 right now, and Keon Ellis is at 7, and Mobley already hit. And we are halfway through the third quarter.
What's the score?
The score is, hold on, let me go back, 83-68. Cavs.
Well, that's closer than a blowout, so you should be all right with all those.
I should be all right with all those, right?
You should be. You should.
I should
think you're going to make some money tonight.
I hope so.
The only bet I have is I'm going back to the Nerfies. I did a no-run first inning on the World Baseball Classic, but I never checked it. So I could probably easily check it, but that would be no fun.
Well, we told everybody in the Network 216 universe that we got a huge announcement coming tonight. Now, I want to give it to you because you're the one that has set this up and got this ball rolling. Do you want to do the announcement, or would you like me to take care of the announcement?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. I don't care. Well, I don't care either way. You do whatever you want. First of all, before we do that, we got Slosh in the house. Let's go. We got Casey showing love. Thank you, Casey. Justin says you're too white for a Barry White voice. Ironic. And then Slosh says, "Let's go, Kent." No, come on now. Toledo, the Rockets already won. That was the game to focus on. What do you want to do? You're the CEO, head exec.
Let's kind of do this together because it was your idea. We kind of went together with it, right? Mm-hmm. And just so everybody knows, the first round of the NFL draft is April 23rd. I think it starts at like 7 o'clock or something like that. 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. But the great thing is it's been a while since the fat man has stretched out his legs live. And same with a little stepping 6'8" Brian Phillips over there. So we decided, hey, let's have some fun with this. Let's go out. Let's have some fun. Let's find a place that we can get down with and do a NFL live draft show. And it is going to be at Flyers Bar and Grill in Parma Heights, right there off of Pearl Road. I think it's Pearl Road, right? Pearl and what's the other corner? You better pull up a map. You better Google map that thing for me. But we are going to be live there. There's going to be drink specials. There's going to be food specials. There is going to be Network 216 there, along with a whole bunch of guests joining us. It'll be myself, Brian Phillips. We have Matt from the Factory Mock Drafts. We have possibly Big Mike from Game Time 216 coming up from Cincinnati. We will also have friends and family and everything else. There will be, I believe he is giving away some prizes. There's going to be the food specials is what I'm kind of excited about because, of course, I'm fat. But he's going to have everything set up there. We're going to have a great time. We're going to pack that place for Flyers and for us. And you guys can be there for the live reactions of our first round picks, whether it be a wonderful wide receiver at number 6, whether we trade down, whether it be an offensive tackle, and what happens in the later part of the night with the the pick number 24, and we kind of get our reactions live as we're all sitting there drinking and having a good time together. So I'm pretty sure that some of the guys from the Guardcast are going to be there. I know that who else is coming? Jesus, we got a lot of people coming, don't we?
We have a lot of guests that we have invited. We've got a lot of maybes so far. So hopefully, we've done, Matt and I have done a couple podcasts with guests that know a lot about the drafts, about the mocks and all that stuff, about the players. So hopefully some of those guys can join us. We'd love to see all your smiling faces there. We're going to be doing a rotation kind of deal so that Fatty and I and everybody else can enjoy beers with you guys. It's just going to be a fun night. We'll start it off, like he said, draft starts at 8. So we all know what that means in the NFL world. That's probably 8:15 when the first round will start, or when Roger will walk his little penguin ass up on the stage for the first time. And then it says Fernando Mendoza. But you mentioned it. They're on the corner of Pearl, and I guess it's York is what I would call it. York turns into Stump Road. If anybody's familiar with Parma Heights, but yeah, the whole gang will be there. There'll be hopefully at least 8 to 10 of us there, and we'd love to see all your smiling faces. Like I said, so come on, join us. We'll be posting it all over the place. We'll post Fatty mentioned the specials. We'll post the drink specials. We'll post the food specials, and it'll be a good time. Me and my one fantasy football league, we did a draft there one year, 14-team fantasy league, and it was a blast. The owner there is great, and then I'm sure he'll be.
Shout out to Tommy.
He's
not to Tommy from Cheech and Chong, but to Tommy Chong, and shout out to him. We do have to message him so we can get all the specials for everybody. But he was talking about doing a power hour where it'd be dollar drafts. He was talking about doing hot dog stand where it was like $2 hot dogs and stuff like that. So he's got a whole bunch of stuff set up that he's excited for us, and talking about having chips and salsa at the table. Maybe first pitcher, you come in, first pitcher's on the house. So we'll keep you posted with all the specials that are going on. But I'm super excited for this. It's been a while since I've been out and about. We did the live pregame show at the 3 Spot, or not the 3 Spot. It was 3 Spot.
During a blizzard.
During a blizzard, which that was fun because I had to go to pool after that. That was a great time. But hey, we had a great time doing it live. We decided to do it again. And like I said, most of Network 216 will be there. And Brian and I will be moving around. We might have some merch there that we will be handing out. So come and join us, please. Stay tuned. We'll be posting all the wonderful banners, graphics, and all that stuff on all of our socials. And if you guys want to donate anything for the draft party, if you got something that you kind of want to be like, hey, let's raffle this off. Let's give this away. We'll raffle it off, and we will make sure that the proceeds to that will go to somewhere good. I always pick City Dogs Cleveland because that's near and dear to my heart, but we can figure something out. But we have a whole bunch of stuff lined up. And like he said, we're going to be walking around. We're going to be talking to everybody. We're going to be having fun. It's a fun night for everybody with the Browns draft. There's going to be music playing in the background. By the way, I do love that he's going to give us the PA system when it's time for the pick. That's going to be awesome.
He might regret that decision.
He'll regret that within like 15 seconds. As soon as he hands the mic over and I start doing these, yeah, we're good. But seriously, come out, have fun with us. We're trying to pack this place for him and for us, and show people that Network 216 is here, and we are ready to have some fun. So please come out and join us.
And he also mentioned having some fun stuff for people to do that, you can bring people that aren't that invested in the Browns. He mentioned having maybe like some bingo or something, some fun stuff for people that maybe aren't as excited about listen to the draft talk for 3.5 hours. Also, maybe we could have a pot for, if the Browns are going to draft a defensive player at 6 or not, and whether I have a stroke. Matt says, Justin says he can't drive that far. I wonder, Justin, do you think you could ride the bike this far?
You know what we could do, which would be really fun? is we'll
Casey
set up
also
some.
needs merch.
We'll set up buckets. All right, get some like raffle tickets and set up buckets in front of us, and we'll set up like a 50-50 going on, and we'll go trade down, offense, defense. Everybody throw a ticket in. If they pick offense, we'll pull a raffle out of the hat and they get the money. What do you think?
Why don't we leave it up to the fans? Why don't the
right.
fans send us ideas, send us DMs or whatever. Comment in the comments if you want. Shoot us some ideas. What would you like to see?
And
Also,
if it's Fatty in a sumo outfit, that has already happened once, and I'm not allowed to do that again in Parma Heights, just to let you know. If it was a different city, I possibly could do it, but Parma Heights, I'm not allowed to wear that shit anymore.
I've not been kicked out of any bars in Parma Heights, so we should be good.
I didn't say kicked out of a bar. I'm just not allowed to wear that kind of outfit anymore.
I didn't ask you to elaborate. I was just telling you that I have not been kicked out of any bars in Parma Heights. So
that's kind of bullshit. I'm sure you have.
No, I actually haven't. I don't know that I've drank at bars in Parma Heights all that often. So,
oh shit, we're going to have a fun night then. Did you tell your wife what you're getting into?
Oh yeah, she's debating on whether or not she wants to. That's a little past her bedtime, so she's like, "Do I want to deal with this or,
I got it. All right. So, hey, what do we got going on tonight? I know we have a guest coming in here in a little bit, right?
We do. We do have a guest. We have at least one guest. We might have a surprise guest on top of that. But here in a few minutes, we've got a buddy that we just met recently, Clint Goss. He is a Atlanta Falcons podcaster. Mm-hmm. So, as we all know, recently the Atlanta Falcons have signed Kevin Stefanski as their head coach. Based on the free agency that I've seen so far, it looks like Kevin is kind of establishing a deck of former Browns players down there as well, and making a lot of Kevin Stefanski-like moves. They've already announced that they're going to be doing a quarterback competition, which we've seen how that goes up here. It's not always the best man wins or the best man even gets a chance, but they've already announced that they're doing one of those. So I'm curious to get his opinion. For those that don't know, we are also on top of the live draft that we're doing on April 23rd.
Oh, I forgot about the Epic.
We are also doing an Epic mock draft with 31 other podcasters from April 9th, 10th, and 11th. Clint is going to be the one that does the drafting for the Atlanta Falcons as well. So we'll send more details on that.
Yeah, we are the Browns War Room, Network 216 is. So we're going to be, first round is April 9th at 6:30. April 10th is the second and third round at 6:30. And then April 11th at 10 a.m. And you'll be seeing our faces along with a whole bunch of guests. I know that we got a couple confirmed. We got Tony from the Dude Network is going to be joining us for the first round as we break that stuff down. Slosh, well, it's just Matt. We'll say Matt. Matt's going to be part of it too. I know we've reached out to a whole bunch of people for that too. So I can't wait for that. About to have some fun with that. But, if you guys want to check us out and see how we do and actually get in on the shenanigans, especially the way we are here at Network 216 and talking shit about somebody that stole our pick at like 5. And then like you see Fatty over here like an angry panda flipping over to the table and everything else and, throwing computers and shit. But, that happens normally.
I can't imagine that you would get that angry, but I guess we'll see. We shall see. We'll be surprised.
I'll be upset. I'll be upset if it's Carson Beck. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody steals Carson Beck before we get Carson Beck,
stop.
I am just going to lose my fucking mind.
Are you done now? Are you done?
I'm done now. You can go ahead.
Can we bring Clint in here, please?
Yes, of course.
Let's get Clint on in here. We appreciate you jumping on in, Clint. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing well. I just came on a second ago for that into that tangent right there. So that was a nice warm up for what I was walking into. But no, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Well,
Thanks
welcome
for
to
doing
the. I was going to say, welcome to the 216 and Laker Falcon Lounge, where anything is. We can talk about anything. Nothing's off limits here. But we do have to bring you on because guess what? You got our head coach, our former head coach, that came out of here with what did you say? A little bit of disgrace, going 3 and 4 wins. Even though I thought he was a good head coach here. What were your guys' thoughts down there in Atlanta when you guys got Kevin Stefanski?
Yeah, I think there was a subsect of the fan base that had Stefanski as their number one option. Then you had that subsect that wanted to go with the up and coming hot play caller, for example, like a Clint Kubiak that went to the Raiders. Then a smaller subsect, very, very, very small, that's maybe more defensive minded. But I think for the most part, it really was offensive minded, coming off of Raheem Morris and that experiment, as you can call it. I kind of went into it admittedly with Stefanski as like my comfortable 2. I personally was really high on Clint Kubiak. I think, there's a lot of familiarity with Matt Ryan and his father, Gary, and their time with the Falcons, and obviously that wide zone scheme offense. But I definitely understood the head coaching experience angle. And I also understood, I think Stefanski has a little bit more of a bolstering personality as far as in front of a room. And the fact that we have kind of done the learn your lessons along the way as head coach. It's like those more rookie things. Stefanski's done the damn thing with you all in his tenure as far as building the coaching staff that he has to this point. So it was one that I was perfectly fine with. I think thus far he and GM Ian Cunningham have done a good job. Got a lot of work to do still. But I would say the overall sentiment it was solid coming out of the gate. I mean, look, coming from Atlanta, and I realize I'm on a Brown show right now, we could have hired prime Vince Lombardi, and there would have still been a subsect of our fan base that would have bitched about it.
Hey, that's just like us. It's fine. It's just
Yeah.
No, you said that he has a command of like a press conference. Have you seen his press conferences here in Cleveland? It is like the most boring press conference that you could ever see. It's like you're sitting there, you're like, I gotta watch the tape. I know we got to do better as a team. I
will say though, we are coming fresh off of you can go as far back as say the Dan Quinn era, and there was a lot of success there.
Mm-hmm.
But you got like every middle school poster slogan you could think of. We kind of did that. And then we went to Raw, where it was a whole lot of like, we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better. So he probably didn't have the tough and I skipped over. Wow. I must've suppressed Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith just talked to all of us like we were stupid and beneath him. So at least there's maybe a little bit of friendliness. So he is walking in where maybe it wasn't that hard to stand out. But I think one thing that I personally thus far have appreciated from Stefanski and Ian Cunningham is they haven't tried to be like sneakily smart, we're going to keep this internal. For example, Ian Cunningham comes out immediately and it's like, oh yeah, we're cutting Kirk Cousins. We're cutting Kirk Cousins. Not like, oh, we'll see when the time comes, things along those lines. Been a little more direct, along with Matt Ryan taking the president of football ops. But no, I hear you. I've heard some similar things out of the Browns people.
Yeah, and it's always interesting, right? Because like we've heard Steelers fans say Mike Tomlin's trash. We don't want him. Like, meanwhile, Fatty and I and probably 90% of the fan base in Cleveland is like, we would love a coach that would at least go 500 every year.
Mike Tomlin would be a god in Atlanta with what he had been doing in Pittsburgh.
He'd be a god here in Cleveland too.
Yeah. I kind of forgot that we have so much in common with you guys.
Hey, how that man has not won Coach of the Year for 19 years, above 500 with some of the crap teams that he had in Pittsburgh. With Kenny Pickett, he took Kenny Pickett to the playoffs. Jesus. Okay,
Look,
I'm sorry.
That's somebody that is obviously enjoying some downtime, likely heading to a TV spot. I know his daughter is a like 5-star recruit now doing Georgia gymnastics. So he is in this part of the country a lot, enjoying that. He's earned it, man. I'm happy for him on that aspect. He had done the damn thing, and he wasn't about to go do another Super Bowl with them in the next year or two. It was time to do something different.
Okay. Well, what to you would be a successful season, I guess, in Kevin Stefanski's first year? I mean, you already mentioned that he's not a rookie head coach. I'll be honest with you. I watched him make the same mistakes he made as a rookie head coach 4, 5, 6 years later. Maybe not mistakes so much, but like just things that we all saw and witnessed, and we're like, it's first down and 1 on the goal line, and you take your best running back out of the game and pass, and then you're like looking at 3rd and 14. We saw that happen over and over again. So, but what are your expectations for the Falcons and Stefanski this year, and what do you see as a successful season?
Yeah, I think if you look at some of the moves thus far from he and Cunningham, while they're, no shit, intending to win as much as possible this year, I think they're being incredibly realistic in the fact that, limited cap this year, 5 draft picks. You're having to figure out the health of the quarterback room and if Penix is your long-term option. They're currently sitting with 10 draft picks for 2027, 7th in the NFL in cap space. An extension coming up likely for Drake London and Bijan at their respective positions. So planning for that. I say that to say win this year, but I think they understand there's enough work to do. Like, this team's not about to go win the Super Bowl this year. Would love to win the South, obviously. You win 8-9 along with Carolina and Tampa, with New Orleans kind of on a positive trajectory toward the end of the season. So, for me, as far as this year, it would be to get an answer as far as Penix. Can he stay healthy? Can he take those next steps with his accuracy and his touch and look to be long-term? Continuing to repair that receiver room that just wasn't going to happen overnight beyond Drake London. Seeing some sort of extension progress as far as Bijan and Drake. Going into a similar good spot, like I just said, where they stand now as far as cap for next free agency and all those draft picks next year. And, I want to have a winning season. We've been in the purgatory of 7-10, 8-9, 7-10, 7-10, picking between 8 and 15. Just taking a next step there. Even if we weren't to win the division, really setting themselves up to go into 2027, because the South really is turning in terms of the Bucs are not going anywhere with what they have other than maybe moving on from Todd Bowles at head coach. The Panthers really seem to have it going with Canales and Dan Morgan, and they do have what they perceive as their quarterback of the future in Bryce Young. The Saints are more and more just going to continue to clean up their cap space. So all that to say, don't get left behind in this. I said we all went 8-9 last year. Stay the course, and just see some growth between what we had in Raw and Stefanski and the differences there, and ultimately, Matt Ryan running the show. So that's a little bit of a loaded answer. But the biggest theme of it all is going to be they've got to figure out, are they going into next draft taking a quarterback?
Well, and that's the question I want to ask you, because they signed Tua, and now you got Michael Penix Jr. there. So the quarterback, it's going to be a competition between the both of them, I think. What were your thoughts on them signing Tua to kind of go up against Michael Penix, and then also the putting the tag on oh my God, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, as far as Tua, it's for $1.3 million, man.
No, I get it. I'm just,
yeah.
But you're expecting him to come in with his pedigree.
Absolutely. I think for me, and this sounds a little smart ass, but it really was my initial comment when they did it was I think some of the thought process is 1 + 1 = 1 as far as this year between he and Penix. they're not both going to stay healthy the full 18 weeks. Bringing Penix back, anticipated being ready for week 1, having the flexibility to get some time out of Tua if Penix needs it, just having that healthy competition and giving yourself kind of different angles as far as, Tua comes in, starts playing well and runs with it, cool beans. He comes in and gets hurt or it's dog water, give it over to Penix and get your answer there. And if neither one of them works, you know where you stand. You don't leave this season with any questions as far as what we perceive as a strong quarterback class in the 2027 class, that you do have draft ammo and free agency money to fill other spots, to know what you have to take that next move. If you look at the Bears, for example, and what Ian Cunningham is coming from, they got their answers as far as Justin Fields. He's not good. So they went and they took Caleb Williams at that one spot. They turned it around just like that and are looking to be a contender going forward. So I feel comfortable in that. And like I said, for a 1.3, they were going to take a shot at one of those veterans, whether it was Kyler Murray, who I believe was going to Minnesota the whole time, Joe Flacco, or ultimately Tua. That's who they landed on. So I'm comfortable with it all the way around. I mean, yeah, am I sitting here waving the flag like I think it's the greatest thing ever? No. But this is also a team that since Matt Ryan left, we've seen the likes of Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder. I'm still trying to suppress the trauma. And then,
hey, I thought that kid was going to be good for you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was rooting for him because he's a Cincinnati boy. I can't help it.
Look, nobody was going to succeed with the surrounding cast and all of it together. Would have rather taken a shot at Malik Willis, but hindsight's 2020. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I feel. I think it is as good as they could have done here, to not go stroke a check for another quarterback at this spot. It's like you still got to pay a little bit to Cousins. You've still got this 8th overall pick contract with Penix. To add the 1-3 on Tua for the upside was as good as you were going to do.
Now, I do have some good stuff for you coming up. You should be very excited about this. You got one of the best offensive line coaches coming to you. When he left Cleveland, Cleveland was a shit show after that on the offensive line. And that just means that Bijan Robinson is just going to eat. So I actually have a bet going on with a couple of people here at Network 216 that the Falcons will make the playoffs and get into the next round of the playoffs because of that run game with Bijan. I think Bijan Robinson is going to be the top running back in the NFL next year.
I think Bijan was the best running back in the NFL last year, but I hear you. For him to be, in addition to that, a pseudo receiver for us when we need it so much, I think adding some of these gap blocking concepts with Callahan, where we really were just strictly wide zone with Dwayne Ledford, who we all think very highly of here in Atlanta. Ravens got a good one. I understand Stefanski wanting to bring Callahan with him. I understand anybody wanting to bring Callahan with them. So that was just you got to pick one. They're both great. But no, I mean, I personally think Bijan's as good as any player, as a complete player in the league. He's the identity of this team, face of this team at this point. So no, I hear you. I mean, look, especially having seen Tyler Algier walk out the door and ultimately signing with the Cardinals as far as RB2, it's going to be interesting to see if they go take a run here in the coming days at that free agency market at somebody along the lines of, off the top of my head, Brian Robinson Jr. coming from the Commanders. I think they ultimately just go with a day 3 running back in this class. Not a star-studded running back class, but there is some depth for somebody that isn't going to have that many carries because the volume for Bijan is just going to be so high. And he's proven durability there. Knock on the wood I'm sitting on. But no, I hear you.
And I've just got one other question for you, Clint. So I've actually tried to do like on my TikToks. I've got TikTok as well, but I do like, what if the Browns were in a different division, or what if the Cavs were in a different division? And one thing that always perks my interest is like, man, if the Browns were in the NFC South, I'm like, man, what a difference that would be. Because when I look at the AFC North, I mean, you've got Joe Burrow. For the longest time, we had Ben Roethlisberger. Now Aaron Rodgers making his whatever resurgence or whatever you want, and Lamar Jackson. And before that, Joe Flacco. It's like it's just been a gauntlet year after year after year. And I don't think we've won the division since 92, 93, something like that, which is pretty embarrassing. Haven't had a home game in our new stadium since 99. Probably won't happen since we're going to have a new stadium here in another 3 years. So I was just curious from the calm down, Fatty.
Oh, no.
I don't want to depress you too much. But I'm just curious from like your perspective in a NFC South where nationally most people say it's just not as tough, right? Or not as good, not as strong. How do you perceive a good year versus some other teams that play 6 division games like I don't know, like a Browns? How do you compare that when you're looking at your season? I feel like I kind of give the Browns a slight pass for being in a tougher division sometimes.
I mean, it is relative, and there is opportunity to compare where we would play. Say, if you put us in a division with the Seahawks and the Broncos and the Chargers and the Chiefs, etc. If we were in the place that a Clint Kubiak that I mentioned earlier is walking into with Vegas, or yours as well, I grew up on the era of the NFC South being a gauntlet of quarterbacks: Cam Newton, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan. So it's definitely been a change to this, and would like to see that flip over. I mean, really, right now it's kind of turned to this being such a gauntlet of running backs. The Saints going and getting Travis A-Chain, as he tells us. We've all been calling him Travis Etienne. Bijan, Bucky Irving. So in answering your question and comparing a great season, I mean, look, I said earlier, you had 8-9, 8-9, 8-9, and then the Saints last year. I think if you were to have tossed those 8-9 teams, most specifically, I'll speak on the Falcons, into somewhere such as your own, that would be a little bit of escape in that purgatory I talked about, picking between 8 and 15. Because, I mean, just speaking for myself, I'd rather have 4 wins at this point than win 7 games. I'd rather make headway and have earlier draft capital in a strong class like 2027 than this kick the can and be the same thing. I think the worst spot for any team in this league is to be purgatory. Yeah. And that goes back to the needing the answer on Penix for next year, because if he's not the answer, don't go use another year of Bijan's prime on him. Don't go use another year of Drake London's prime on him in their youth. Those guys are sub 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, no, it has to be relative when you say compare a team like the Browns and the Falcons in terms of who you're taking head up in the division. Under half of your season, but more than a third. So, no, I hear you. But, I mean, I think in the South, speaking from our perspective, an easy cop-out answer to that is hitting 500 or above. Talking about like my Falcons, there's no damn excuse for that team to be under 500 last year. There's just none. You got Bijan, you got Drake London, you have a very strong offensive line. Kyle Pitts is a former top 5 pick, made second team All-Pro. Mm-hmm. Jeff Ulbrich did a phenomenal job orchestrating that defense. Second in the league in sacks with a young duo and James Pierce Jr. Jalen Walker, Caden Ellis, who's now gone to the Saints. That safety tandem, I mean, Xavier Watts as a rookie played as well as any safety in the league, second in the league in interceptions at any position. Mm-hmm. A.J. Terrell manning a corner spot in what has become a good value contract, and an owner in Arthur Blank that gives them all the resources they could ask for. No reason, particularly when Saints are kind of pushing the rock up the hill, and they're turning it a little bit. But look, I mean, they had a very light wallet to be working with. A Panthers team that's really had to do a lot of turnaround from when John Tepper bought the team and frankly acted like a buffoon until somebody advised him to let people do their jobs, and which he has done. And I will give him props on that. I will give him props. He's let Dan Morgan and Dave Canales do their jobs. And then a Bucks team that all but was this close to firing Bowles after the season. I was surprised to see him retain him. Frankly, I project that to be the job on the market after this season. Particularly, they don't win the division. He's going to be a goner. They proceed to go hire Zach Robinson from us to be their offensive coordinator. That's going to be a complete cluster. So, yeah, a little bit of a loaded response. This is about my third show today, so I might be a little all over. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Damn.
No.
All right. So 2 quick questions for me, and then we'll get you off here because you've had 3 shows today. And by the way, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us, having fun with us. All right. So you guys have a second-round pick coming up. What are your guys' needs on your Atlanta Falcons team for this draft coming up? What are you looking forward to grab in the draft? And then the second one I'll have to ask after, you answer this one.
Okay. Yeah. As far as pick 48, Ian Cunningham, for the philosophy he has preached to us in this opening presser and leaning back on his history, worked under Ryan Poles, obviously, comes from the Ozzie Newsome tree, comes from the Howie Roseman tree. I think Ozzie Newsome's the best GM in history. I think Howie Roseman's one of the 2 best GMs in the current NFL. He has preached emphasis on the lines of scrimmage. We've seen that in the depth moves he's made. He's preached an emphasis on volume of draft picks. We've seen that in his comp pick work for 2027. And he has preached getting younger for a Falcons team that went into this cycle as one of the older teams in the league. You saw that in the Caden Ellis move, letting him walk. He did not give a 31-year-old linebacker a 60% raise like the Saints did.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, I would lean back on him thus far being a man of his word. I would look at the defensive interior. I think for this 3-4, you're playing Ruka Rororo at that nose tackle spot now because he's strong enough to handle it, but he's roughly 300 pounds. He's more built to be an edge there. I could see them looking at, a Kristen Miller out of Georgia at 321 if he's there. I could see them looking if there is a faller like a Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. I think that's one. I think there's going to be a corner run in the 20s into the first half of the second round. I think if a faller gets there, they may not expect. Chris Johnson out of San Diego State, a real good off-zone corner to put opposite of Terrell. I think that's worth a mention. I don't think they go receiver. I think they wait till the third, haven't added Jahan Dotson, obviously have Drake London. I think the board value lines up better there. So having said all that, I would answer with defensive interior or corner. They need to go get a starter on defense, a core player that can be impact now and then head into that 2027. They got to make moves, but it'll come down to some best player available for them. I wouldn't be stunned if he looks up and, this is throwing something off the wall here. If he looked up and some offensive tackle that they had as a top 25 player for them was sitting there staring him in the face with a Caleb McGarry wrapping up a contract here, and Jake Matthews can't play forever, even if he acts like it, wouldn't be stunned. But I think the easy answer is defensive interior corner.
All right. Now here, as Browns fans, we have been searching for the Messiah to take over at the quarterback position for it's over 30 years now. Oh God, it's so depressing.
I am 30 years old for perspective.
Okay. So it's before your time. So let's just put it that way. So right now, what would you do in the quarterback room for the Cleveland Browns? Would it be Shedeur, Deshaun, or other? And if you're on the clock at 6 for the Cleveland Browns, who would you take, a wide receiver or an offensive lineman?
Yeah, I got 2 easy answers for that at this point. I think you roll with Shedeur this year. I see a good relationship thus far with Todd Monken. I've seen what Monken can do I'm a Georgia Bulldog lifelong fan as well. We think of him close to that Messiah down here after that back-to-back national championships with him calling plays before making that jump to go, couldn't turn down the opportunity to work with Lamar Jackson. Monken also was notoriously known around here for hating recruiting and not wanting to be involved in that aspect. That was Shedeur. I think there was enough at the end of last year for y'all not to pull trigger with some of that gun shyness you've had doing so in past moves. I think when you look at this quarterback class too, I don't know that in the immediate with a new regime as far as the head coach, take Ty Simpson out of Alabama for perspective, like Simpson, but I do think that's not a slam dunk enough to move off of it. You've got the 6th pick, you've got the 24th pick. Beyond that, it'll be gone. I think the needs of, say, an offensive tackle, a receiver are enough. You build that core out. You get your answer this year, kind of like I said with Penix as far as Shedeur, and then go from there. And then to your second question at 6, I think it's an absolute damn slam dunk. You take Monroe Freeland, tackle out of Georgia. I think the scarcity of left tackles that make it to free agency get overpaid and aren't that great. That's why they made it to free agency more than any position in the league outside of quarterback. The opportunity to jump at that, 99.9th percentile athlete coming out of Athens, everything for all the times we talk about, oh, this prospect's got shorter arms. Oh, should he kick inside? Oh, he's not really, doesn't have that great of feet. It's not the case here. 6'7", 315, 34 and 3/4 inch arms, great feet. Georgia signed him out of the state of South Carolina at 270 pounds. That body transformation, his coordination to keep up through that has been great. He's got 200 plus right tackle snaps in Athens, just in terms of versatility with that to do both. But he's a left tackle all the way. That familiarity with Monken and that program, obviously, like I mentioned with Kirby Smart, there's no head coach in this league that's going to have a better in-tune network with that program and what he's looking at, picking up the phone, calling Kirby Smart as far as Freeling. Speaking from a Bulldogs perspective, we all knew he was that caliber of athlete to go test in Indianapolis. We all think highly of him. We hated to see him go. I think with the moves you've made as far as Titus Howard at a right tackle spot, going and getting Zion Johnson for one of the guard spots, and then having picks to maybe do something else in addition to that, you got to lock that up and not get cute, and then go into 24 and what I would perceive to be a favorable receiver board to go get a good value and then go get your answer as far as Shedeur this year.
I like it.
We would absolutely love it.
They've needed a left tackle since Joe Thomas left, and that would be absolutely amazing. I'm very high on Monroe Freeling. He's the only true left tackle in this draft, and I think they would be stupid if they didn't draft him.
I think it's all but one of the worst kept secrets in the league at this point.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't go at 3.
By the way, hey, while you're on here, before we kick you off, do you want to make a trade with the Cleveland Browns at any point in time during this draft?
Yeah, if I had to see one more graphic, I really was being a smartass this one day. I was so sick of seeing Dylan Gabriel graphics when we hired Anthony.
But he loved them.
But I tweeted, I said, for every like this tweet gets, I will suggest a better alternative than Dylan Gabriel. I kid you not, I must have gotten like 700 likes on there. I think I ended up doing about 100, and then I tapped out a little bit. I mean, I was starting to really dig deep when I looked up and I was getting into the CFL.
Uncle Rico. You can get into Uncle Rico. You got a whole bunch you can get into.
Look, we got some good talent here locally in the Atlanta area as far as Friday Night Lights that I was starting to think of if it had gone deep enough. But no, I definitely don't see that there. And I think we've done enough of the Browns light with some of our additions that Stefanski has brought with him.
What do you mean? mean? You got Austin Hooper down there now. Look,
Hey,
at
Austin
you.
Hooper was ours first, man. We were going back when we brought him back to the old Matt Ryan highlights. We're familiar with Hoop down here.
Thank God, because he didn't do anything for us when we got him up here.
Nah,
Hey.
that's one that's I'm gonna have to wait and see there. That's definitely a depth piece, but little lukewarm taste.
All right. Well, Clint, we appreciate you for joining us, man. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, and we'll let you get on out of here and close out your third show for the day.
Yeah. One-stop shop. You can find any content or guest appearances I do at Twitter at my namesake Clint Goss or at NFL Draft Dome. While I have been doing guest spots for some time, I have recently gotten going with my own personal YouTube NFL Draft Dome, doing all 32 team free agency and NFL draft content. A lot of good stuff there coming. But Twitter's the one-stop shop. You can find anything I do there. Very active.
Nice.
All right. Thank you so much, bud. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
All right.
looking
We will.
forward
Hey,
to it.
we'll be talking April 10th about your second round pick and what we can do with that for you.
All right, man. We'll do.
All right. See you, bud.
Talk.
Oh man, thanks, Clint.
Dude,
for being on.
what a great interview. How awesome was that?
Oh man, he's spot on, man. He's like I didn't know the Atlanta Falcons all that well. He was spouting off. I mean, that was awesome. He was great.
That was awesome. Now we got to get another one next week, asshole. Look what you did to us.
There's no more head coaching ties to the Cleveland Browns, okay?
Oh, there's always head coaching ties with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Hey,
And
why don't we
didn't
get
even
New
think
England
about-
with Mike Vrabel? Because everybody wanted him as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
That's fine. No, they did. I just saw somebody retweet a thing today about, the Browns have signed Mike Vrabel to be part of their coaching staff. That was obviously from last year, 2 years ago now. And, made everybody sad or whatever.
Of course.
Well, I mean, you had some emotions going on during that interview. I saw your face get a little sad, a little angry, a little happy, a little, sad again. What you want to elaborate on anything that you were going through at that time?
By the way, I hit my 3-leg parlay, motherfucker.
Oh, congratulations. Yay. Everybody be happy that Fatty made some money.
Finally, $5 holla. No, it was just when you were talking about, the 30 years and we haven't won a division, we haven't done this, and it's just like
Strike a nerve.
like it's not striking a nerve, man. It's just but it just kills. It kills right now that I feel like we have to start fresh all over again. And it feels that way. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what to do. And hey, for once, I agree with Clint. Like, you have to do something to shore up this offensive line and see what you got at quarterback. And this would be the year for Shedeur. And unfortunately, number 4 to show what they got. And, just keep this quarterback room. I wouldn't try to get anybody. No Mac Jones, no nothing. Just keep this quarterback room and see what it is. See what you have. So you know exactly what you have going into next year's draft. If you have a gleam of hope with Shedeur Sanders, take it.
Yeah.
If you have a gleam of hope with Deshaun Watson, pray to God he tears his other Achilles and we don't have to fucking worry about that ever again.
What if they find a trade partner for him at the before the trade?
There's nobody going to trade for Deshaun Watson. Not one fucking person is going to trade for Deshaun Watson. He is on the blacklist like fucking good God, what's his name from San Francisco?
Colin Kaepernick.
Yep. He's on the blacklist. Nobody's going to touch that contract.
You know
ever.
what? You were saying how it was like a dagger for you, me bringing up all that stuff. It was a dagger for me seeing an interview with Jarvis Landry and the running back from Jacksonville. I can't remember his name off the top of my head today. They were talking about how they all had this plan that Deshaun Watson was going to go to Atlanta and be the quarterback down there. And Juice Landry was going to go down there and all that stuff. And I was like, they're like, oh man, one day we were all ready to go, and Landry was like, yeah, I had my bags packed. And then the next day I see a thing on Twitter or whatever Deshaun Watson goes to the Browns. I'm like, oh my god, just the domino effect.
Look.
It's like, oh my gosh.
We have seriously, and somebody brought it was the Ken Carmen show this morning. I don't know if you listened to it this morning.
No, I
But
did not.
what was it? Was it Danny Cunningham that was on with him? Brought up the one thing, at least the years before this year, you could predict hope.
Could you?
Hold on. Coming off a playoff year, Deshaun's healthy, hope. Flacco year, hope.
What
Last
about
last year, Falco back, Pickett. You had some sort of, and Shador, drafted Shador. You had hope. This year, where's the hope? The only hope is if Shador actually plays good. That's the only hope for this team this year.
I don't.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay, why?
Okay, what were the two biggest problems last year positionally for the Browns?
Offensive line, wide receiver.
Okay. And
Okay, we took care of the offensive line. We haven't done shit with wide receiver.
Not yet. But Clint just mentioned it. It is a deep wide receiver class. How do I come in your fighting? Casey, what you know what the show is all about. I rile Fatty up, he riles me up. No. They fixed the offensive line 3 out of 5 spots, which, last year we were 32 and then they all got injured, so like it was even worse. We were probably like 45th, if you bring in some college teams, but
I'm not saying that they didn't do anything good on the offensive line. These are all right now. We don't know. These are unknowns to us right now.
Sure.
It's true. They're unknown to us. Okay. What we do know is Jerry Jeudy, as Justin said, he got gonorrhea on that horror tree all the way down because he can't catch. We got Cedric Tillman, that is just whatever, rubber band man. You got Isaiah Bond, the only thing that he could do is run deep and then catch the ball. Hold on. I'm not done yet. Our only true threat is a tight end that can't block. Then we have a running back that's coming off of a leg complete blowout. We got Dylan Sampson, who showed some flashes, but it wasn't. So our offense is just shit. The only thing that we have hope of is our defense doing anything. And if you think about it, think about last year. If our defense didn't do the shit that they did, we wouldn't have won as many games as we did.
If they would have fired that special teams coordinator,
fucking
we
Bubba
probably would have
Ventrone.
won 3 more games.
God damn Bubba. It was Bubba. It was Bubba's fault.
I mean, well, look at the Jets game. Look at and the defense. You're talking about the great defense. What about that 4th and 1 with Mark Andrews in Baltimore?
I know. That was a Todd Monken call. That was a Todd Monken call.
And who do we have on our team now? Todd Monken, baby.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go.
Listen.
By the way, the Cavs are about to win 135-103.
Woo!
That's what I'm saying.
That's a nice pick-me-up.
Hell yes.
Did you happen to watch the end of the Orlando game?
The Magic game. What part?
The part where they were up by 2 or 3 points and they made a pass and a referee said that it went off James Harden. When James Harden goes, dude, I wasn't even anywhere near it. And then the Cavs had already used both of their challenges successfully. By the way,
I know what you're talking about. I got you.
And then they couldn't challenge that.
Really? I mean, I watched Jaylen Brown dive into. Did you watch the Celtics and Jaylen Brown's outburst when he got kicked out of the game?
I didn't see that. No.
Oh, you have to go back and watch that. That's actually comical because he barely got touched by somebody and went into the bench and then comes back out and bitching at the ref. The ref teased him up one time because he's heated. Comes back at him again, teasing the other ref on the other side of the freaking court, tease him up for the second technical and kicks him out. Like he's wanting to fight the ref for somebody just going like this. and then just touching him into the bench, and then
Well,
goes
I
back
mean-
and starts crying.
The NBA is like the WWE.
No, the NBA is a bunch of pussies, is what they are. I'll admit it. Like, oh my God, slap me on the wrist. Come on, ref. There's a foul. Oh, by the way, the play is running behind you as they're fucking scoring, you dumbass. Keep arguing with the ref right there because that's really going to help you. All right.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like, when did we get this soft in the NBA that we bitch about being in the paint and having 4 guys on you? Yep, there it is. Justin, I can actually agree with that one. LeBron James has pussified the NBA.
Oh my goodness. Are we talking Guardians now? What?
Well, we don't have Mike on, so we're not talking Guardians. So hey, let's get off of this because everybody doesn't want to talk about
No,
everybody
it's fine. It's fine.
everybody
Keep
in the
going, keep
flops and everything else in the
Listen,
NBA.
There's a reason why I hated James Harden before he came here. Okay, when he throws up that 3-pointer
Everybody
and
hates James Harden
kicks out
until
his
he plays on
leg,
your team.
he kicks out his leg and then falls to the ground as if he just got molested. Right when the guy is like this, arms are straight up, like, oh, sorry, bro, I stepped on your toes somehow magically. I hated him before he came here, but now that he's here, I mean, have you ever been mad when James Harden goes to throw up a 3 and all of a sudden lands on the floor, misses the 3, and gets 3 free throws? No.
I can be biased. It's my team.
Which it's fine. I'm okay with it.
It's fine.
I'm more curious as to what your thoughts are as far as these like challenges. I hate the end of NBA games personally. I think it's like, you play 3 quarters and the game goes by like, 30 minutes a quarter, and then you play the 4th quarter and it's like, and an hour and a half because we took 3 timeouts for each team. We challenged 2 plays each. Like we had TV timeouts. It's like,
I mean, it's all right. Some of the challenges are good, but you have to limit the challenges of what they can challenge. Whether it be possession, I don't think them challenging fouls, I think, is what's killing everything. Because at that point in time, what's considered a foul? Do you have, you know what I mean? Like it's a foul on somebody is pretty much detrimental to whoever sees it. Whether it be New York, whether it be the ref in the crowd, how it is. But if you got a guy that went up for a shot and actually gets fouled, then I don't know. I don't like the way the NBA is now because I feel like it is just run down the court, shoot up a 3, run down the court, shoot up a 3, run down the court, shoot up a 3. When there's so many other things. And if you watch Oklahoma City, they don't do that. They actually do the mid-range jump shots. They play tough. They play defense. Detroit's kind of the same way. They play defense. They get in your face. Honestly, the bad boys of Detroit might be back. But I just miss. Oh, don't you start with that face.
you're wrong, but go ahead. Continue.
They're great.
Detroit's going to get bounced in the first round that they play.
That's fine, but it's going to be a tough matchup for whoever has to play them because Detroit's not going to go out like a little bitch, and they're actually going to play tough, and they're going to play tough defense.
Yeah.
And what do we always do? And what do we always do as Cavs fans? Go out like a little bitch because we can't play physical.
You're right there.
All right.
You're right there. But Orlando played us tough a couple years ago. The Knicks play us tough. We're pretty soft, and people can pile on that. That's fine. I don't care. I don't mind. I agree.
Like right now, and I know that Jared Allen has been injured and been off the bench. I'm loving Bryant in this lineup. Seriously, he's got a 3-point shot. Jared Allen doesn't. He plays more physical than Jared Allen.
Agreed.
If we get in the playoffs, I'm not going to lie. I'd rather have Bryant in the lineup than Jared Allen.
Starting?
It'd probably be Mobley starting and then Brian off the bench. I think
Okay.
I would have Mobley starting, Dean Wade. I would have both Harden and Mitchell. Hold on. And then Jalen Tyson or Keon Ellis. I know what you say about Dean Wade, but I'm just saying. Just saying.
Just look at anybody who's listening. Look at Dean Wade's playoff stats. It's just embarrassing.
I know. I get it.
He shits down his leg whenever the playoffs are going on. It's a different player. He's a different player. You can't. This is fool's gold here.
Then fine. We'll put in Bryant Mobley, Keon Ellis, because he's playing some great defense. He's playing some great basketball right now. Keon Ellis, and then Mitchell and fucking Harden. There you go. There's your starting five.
Do you think right now, and I know you've talked to Zach a lot, do you think that Schroeder makes the rotation with how bad he's playing right now for the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Schroeder will. Schroeder's a defensive guy. They'll bring him out as defense.
Okay. All right. Well, not to shift too quickly here, but we kind of talked a lot of Browns and Falcons with Clint. So
are we going off the rails?
Do you want to go off the rails? Do you want to touch on the Guardians before we go off the rails? What do you want to do?
Let's save the Guardians for next week.
That's fine.
Because they'll be closer to done with spring training and everything else. And then maybe we can get one of our MLB Guardcast to join us, like Brian or Mike next week.
But I told you Mike was a maybe.
I know. I'm just saying we will put it more in stone next week.
I got you.
I'm not in baseball mode yet. I'm in NFL draft and Cavs mode right now. Baseball. I get you. I'm just not there yet. I'm not. You have the draft coming up. You have Cavs playoffs coming up. I'm more in tune to those two in March Madness than I am the Guardians right now.
Okay. So you want to go off the rails then?
Yeah, let's do it. Pick one.
What?
Do the randomizer.
I gotta pick wisely here. I gotta nullify. I gotta nullify this list a little bit. College. Did you go to college? Were you a college boy? What are you looking at me like I'm crazy for? I have to ask.
College.
Huh?
Yeah, I went to college.
Okay. Talk about one of your experiences in college. Best experience, worst experience. See, yeah, this is how it gets. This is what you wanted. You wanted this. You asked for this. He's in hot dog. He's in a hot dog. Is it taco? No, we're not. No, we're not. We're trying to find topics that don't include food here for the off the rails section of Lake Effect Lounge. I know Fatty, it's just a natural default just to go to food. I gotta pull him away.
No, that's fine. You're fine. So the best experience that I had was it, and I'll be honest, it was meeting my two best friends. Love them to death, Junior and Joe. Meeting those two in college, they're like brothers to me. I don't have a lot of friends. Well, I do have a lot of friends, but I have a lot of I don't have a lot of close friends. And the people that I keep close to me, I treat like family. And those two, just having those two in my life, changed my life. I love them both. The shit that we have done together, a lot of it cannot be aired on the live stream.
Don't look at the chat.
Oh, I saw it. Oh, Justin, that sucks. But also I've had one.
Sorry.
So that was the best experience. The worst experience I had. Oh God. I had to babysit somebody. And not that I wanted to babysit somebody. I had to because of the situation that we were in at the time. And I can't get into details of what this kid did. I really can't. But I watched this kid not gonna lie, puke and rally twice.
Oh my god!
Oh, we're not done yet. Some
Why?
certain
Why?
hold
I don't
on.
even understand why people would do that once.
Hold on.
To be honest.
Hold on.
Like, okay.
Certain drugs were done in a bathroom.
Yeah. Okay. Now I
Hold on.
understand.
Then thought, hey, I could race my car right now. And ended up in a fight. Stole his keys.
Mm,
So he didn't do anything stupid.
mm. Yep.
Okay. Finally got him to calm down. And this kid wakes up the next morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like, man, I had a great night last night. What about you guys? I'm being dead serious. Like, I was up all night with this kid, making sure he didn't die.
Mhm.
And it was one of those ones where I was like, I was buzzed, but I wasn't like, hey, let's go puke and rally again. Like, I had no, as soon as I saw this kid go down on the roller coaster, I went like, all right, somebody's got to be an adult here. Somebody get me a Gatorade. Jesus Christ, look at this kid. And then he just kept going, dude. Like, I'm not kidding you. He probably drank a case of beer, a fifth of Jack Daniels, and just kept going. And I can't say what drugs were in the bathroom, but I can say what drugs were in the bathroom.
Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel. Sorry, Billy Manziel.
But yeah, so I got that. What about you? What's your best experience? What's your worst experience?
I don't know that I can talk about this on air. We're gonna pluck one. Number one to your story. Me, I'm a little bit of a bi, a little bit of a
TCH?
bia.
You're a
I
bitch.
cannot puke and rally. I can't puke and rally, man.
Really? You've never puked and rallied?
No, dude. If I'm puking, that's the end of the night, man. I'm sorry. Like, even in college, like, dude, I'm done. Like, get me to bed. Like, let's get out of here. I don't
Normally,
understand. What is the motivation when you're like when I'm puking, I'm like, God, this is the worst feeling in the entire life in my entire life. What is the motivation to be like, I just threw all my guts up. Let's put some more alcohol in me.
I think, okay, so I've done it a couple times, but it was only because, hold on.
Oh,
First off,
well, there was a
first
girl
off-
involved. There was a girl
no,
involved.
God, no. First off, it was St. Patty's Day was involved in the first one. So you can't go out like a bitch on St. Patty's Day. Okay. The second one, and
Here you go. There's my sister. She cannot puke and rally. See, I told you. I do not lie.
God. So is it just like the throwing up thing, or is it because like most of the time, like when I puke and rally, it was mostly beer I was drinking beforehand and not liquor. So I got like that bloated, just like, all right, I gotta get something off my stomach because I'm not done drinking yet. And then just kind of like you felt like you were full, and then the finger, and then go again. You really okay?
Like, you're just like, let me clear out some space so I can put more in.
Yep, exactly.
No, dude, no. That's just puking is such an awful feeling. I don't know.
It is.
I just there's no part of me that, like, once I puke, I'm just like, you know what? Let's get back after it. I'm like, no, that's like
Okay,
the
we
good
still haven't
Lord
got it.
has told me I've had enough.
We still haven't gotten your best and worst experiences yet.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Let me warm up to it. Okay. Best experience, easy. Honestly, it's actually similar to yours. Fortunately for me, when I was in college, early years, I was like, being in a fraternity is like paying for your friends. It's stupid. You know, don't do that. Right. I was like, all the stereotypes and stuff. Granted, this was like 20 years ago, maybe. Not that I'm that old, but I I was like anti-fraternity, and one of the guys that I actually lived with was in a fraternity while I was anti-fraternity, and he was always trying to get me to go to the fraternity events or whatever. And I was like, no, 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 like I won't pay for my friends. I thought it was lame, blah blah blah. But similar experience to you. I ended up meeting one of his fraternity brothers, partying with him all summer one summer, and he put the the salesman pitch on me and got me to check out the fraternity. Ended up being the best decision of my life. I will say I have talked to at least we'll just say 12 guys today that were from that fraternity, and I graduated damn near 20 years ago. Just my best friend was I pledged with him. It was an experience that I'm trying to pass on to my son as to how important it is to find a good organization, whether it's a fraternity or not a fraternity, whatever. But just yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. It was great. It was obviously a lot different back then when I was going through those things, but yeah, that was definitely the best experience for me was joining that fraternity and meeting such a amazing and eclectic group of guys that we still every wedding it's like, man, we just miss each other, that kind of thing.
Which this segment of this episode has spawned off because of. Right?
That is correct.
All right. Shout out to Frat Brother that set it into motion. Off the rails on Lake Effect Lounge.
Corey and his 60 topics for non-sports related podcast talk. Who also I won't bring that up actually. So let's talk about worst case experience. Oh man, I could go down a lot of directions here. Let's just leave it at crazy females. Let's just
yeah, I know where that goes.
Let's just leave it there. Oh, here we go. Voorhees is in.
He's joining us next week.
Next week or in a few minutes. He has.
No, it's not a few minutes.
No, okay.
Lake Effect Lounge is shutting down.
Fatty's running out of steam. Had some cleanup. Oh boy, we have to learn about that. Yeah, no, crazy females. I had, we'll just say one relationship. She threatened to burn my house down. She punched me, and I stumbled. Let's just say she punched me down some stairs. We'll just keep it simple. There was an event where me and my best friend both had motorcycles. She mistakenly thought that my motorcycle was his and just put Heinz ketchup all over it. Just a lot of total maturity. I got some stories, man.
What kind of damage queen did you get into? Jesus. Must have been after you couldn't puke and rally. That's right, Allie.
Oh, whoa. So Voorhees says see you at 9 p.m. next Friday. Okay, well then, let's take off of my personal life here and focus on that. Unless you got questions. You got questions?
Dude, you don't imagine how many questions. Hold on. Was she a blonde?
Yep.
Oh boy. There's so many questions I want to ask after this, but we can't do it live, so this is going to happen off camera, but hey.
Save it for after the show.
Hold on.
I know whatever you're trying to telepathically tell me right now, I'm not picking up on your vibes.
Was it fun?
Of course. What do you mean?
Yeah.
All things come with a price. Let's see here. I have an amazing crazy chick story, but we'll save it. Let's just say I beat
Jesus!
Holy cow! Boy, we got some catching up to do at the Network 2 and 6 live draft, Mike. I got back at that roommate though. Oh, geez. Justin always with the comments, man. I'm always so interested in what Justin comments.
All right, we got to end the show. We have to end the show now before shit comes out.
Let's focus. Let's focus. So Mike Voorhees, co-host of the Guards Cast,
MLB Guards Cast.
He is going to be joining us next week, Friday night at 9 p.m. He says so. He will be joining us, and he has some hot takes. He is, as far as I know, a Cleveland fan and has some Cleveland Browns stuff he'd like to get off his chest. Also, I would absolutely love. Oh, it's the MLB Guards Cast. Sorry,
I tried to tell you.
Oh well, I was on a rant. I was.
Yeah. See, this is what happens when you drink the Holly Jolly over there.
Oh, he's not even a Browns fan. Oh boy. All right.
No, not anymore.
Now I got more questions.
All right.
But no, Mike will join us next week. And so if you have any Guardians questions, definitely bring him in next week. He's on his stuff. He follows the Guardians very closely. Somebody that I rely on for information. So looking forward to that. And Patty, what do you wanna close us out?
God, yes. Thank you for watching Lake Effect Lounge. Sorry that off the rails just really went off the rails. You got questions, I got answers. There it is with the wink. All right, let's do it. All right, we got Mike Voorhees next week. And guess what? We'll do Rush Roulette with the frat boys. And the questions we got coming up. Jesus God. All right, let's have some fun next week on Lake Effect Lounge. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Clint, for joining us tonight. Go follow him on all of his socials. And thank you for the announcement. Thank you to Flyers and Tommy Chung for letting us have a party there coming up. So that was a special announcement. Go check us out at Flyers April 23rd at 8 p.m. We will be there early, obviously, drinking and setting up. And if you guys want to come and hang out with us, come and hang out with us. All right, we're out of here. See ya.
See ya, Cleveland.